Hey guys. Well, okay. I am doing another video. Once again, in regards to of some trending posts. I see as I was like looking down a list of the things that I have, I'm like a little bit behind, and I know that the story is probably almost about a week old or are a week old, but I want to get, like my props about it, my thoughts and my little rants about it and all that kind of stuff. The first thing I wanted to talk about, it was a story that was posted the 11th of February. It was a story about this, I believe he was a counselor at an elementary school. His name is Denote Carraway, and I believe he was a counselor at the school. And I heard this on the news myself way before I actually saw it on Facebook. They were saying that he was charged for producing producing videos of children doing sexual acts, child pornography as they call it, and he's now in prison getting ready to serve 10 counts of felony child pornography, sexual abuse of a minor, and second degree sexual offense. So, on this page here, they're saying that the news team actually came in and had an interview with him. Unfortunately, they couldn't bring the cameras in there with him. I mean, and no cameras in the jailhouse while they were talking to him. The cameras were not allowed. So the reporter actually probably had to come in with like a pen and paper and basically write down with whatever he's saying. And they actually have it right here in the paragraph. They also have, let's see here, they have a whole lot of it. A lot. So I'm just gonna play the videos because this is like the first of the three that I would like to talk about today on this video. So I'm just gonna press the videos and have you guys listen to it. This is from Fox 5 News. For those of you that haven't heard the story or just browse on the internet or haven't heard the story, those with the busy schedules and all that. So I'm just gonna click it here and have you guys listen on what they're gonna just have you listen to them, what they're saying about the incident.
And we begin with our Fox 5 exclusive. For the first time, we're hearing from the man at the center of the appalling school child porn investigation in Prince George's County. I'm Tony Perkins.
And I'm Sean Yancey. This man, Denote Carraway, is the volunteer school aide accused of making videos of children engaged in sex acts. Last Thursday, one of the alleged victim's uncles went to Sylvania Woods Elementary School and spoke with the principal about his concerns about the suspect, Denote Carraway. According to the uncle, the principal told him to circle back in a few days, but instead he went to police. On Friday, police arrested Carraway. Then on Monday, officers held a news conference to inform the public about the case. They revealed that as many as 12 children were involved in the pornographic videos that Carraway allegedly filmed at the school. On Tuesday, school officials sent home a letter informing parents about what was going on. Then Wednesday, one of the alleged victims' families filed a lawsuit, and for the first time, Prince George's County school leaders spoke publicly about the case. They also announced the school's principal had been placed on administrative leave.
Well, Fox 5's Marina Morocco met exclusively with Carraway tonight at the Prince George's County Department of Corrections in Upper Marlboro. Marina, what did he have to say?
Hey. Yeah, Tony, we did. I went in with my photographer. We went in for roughly about an hour here. We showed up, and of course, when you walk in, you have to leave everything outside. We only had our IDs, and our jackets basically with us, and we went inside. He was already waiting for us at the medical ward of the jail. He was sitting on the other side of a glass partition, of course in a orange jumpsuit. He was not handcuffed. He was not shackled. When we showed up, both my photographer and I introduced ourselves. He had accepted our request to see him, and then when we sat down with him, one of my first questions was, were you involved in the child pornography charges and accusations? And he said he was very candid with us and said yes, that he did partake in these videos. He said that he believed himself to be one of the children. He was just another big kid sharing with these children that he's known for quite some time, as he's been a teacher's aide at that elementary school, as well as most recently a volunteer. Now, he told us that he never
sexual
engaged
pleasure off
in
a
any
child.
sort of sexual interactions with any of those children, but he said that he was privy to all these videos, and he was watching them as they performed these acts on camera. Now, he says that a lot of these videos were taken on the children's cell phones, and then those videos were sent to his cell phone via that social media app that we now know as Kick, where you can remain anonymous on that application and send pictures and videos through that app. He says that is how he received the videos on his phone. Tony, Sean?
Let me ask you, it sounds like he thought that what he was doing was okay. What was your sense? Did he understand the gravity of the charges against him? Does he know that he was wrong?
Well, I did ask him, Sean, I said, you understand that you are facing very serious charges. There are now at least 10 felony charges, and you could potentially be spending the rest of your life behind bars. As soon as I said that, he began to cry. Now, he says he understands what he did was wrong, and he says he was sorry, but he said that he never sexually interacted with these children. He said he was just watching them, and he says that he felt as if though he was one of them. Sean, I'll tell you, speaking with him, you don't get the sense that this is a 22-year-old adult. Speaking with him, it seems like rather you're speaking with a younger child, if you will. A big question, of course, arises: how, in fact, was he then allowed to actually act as a volunteer at this school with any sort of responsibility with these children?
Marina, can I ask, is he claiming that he didn't shoot any of these videos, that they were essentially just sent to him? Is he trying to make some differentiation there?
No, he's not, Tony. He says that he was participating as far as taking some of these videos, even at times directing some of these videos and being a part of the scene of these videos, but he says he was never in any of the videos, so he was never in front of the camera, if you will. He says that a lot of these things just took place before his eyes, but he didn't physically participate with these children. Now, I will tell you that he says that this all started as fun and games. Many of the times he says that this would start as hide and go seek games, or as even truth or dare. He says it would start as innocently, he says, as just pop kissing, and then from there evolve into, of course, much more serious physical actions, including sexual intercourse.
Wow. Marina, I'm curious, did he ever explain how he was able to get the kids by themselves and shoot these videos?
So from what I gather from our interview, Sean, the majority of these videos were actually shot at the rec center. And of course, you'll know that there are no teachers. A lot of these rec centers, much of these, the employees there are volunteers like Denote. So he was there many times with these children by himself as their parents were working. And he actually told us that the night that he was picked up on Friday, he was at the home of one of the victims, and he considers the mother of one of those 10-year-old children to be his mentor. He looks up to that woman, and he says, I just can't believe that this happened as I was leaving her house.
Wow.
Obviously, this is a very serious situation involving children. A lot of people very upset, concerned about this.
I'm gonna say it's pissing me the fuck off. I mean, this is dumb. This is outrageous.
Tony, I think my sense was that he wanted to share that he considers himself to be a troubled person. He says that when he was about 10 years old, third, fourth grade. He wouldn't really give me a definitive timeline or age. He was raped in elementary school. He says that yet again, when he was in high school, some high school students attempted to remove his clothing and that he was nearly raped at Duval High School. He says that he did mention this to police officers. He says that it's because of his troubled upbringing. He says he's always been in special education classes and he's had a lot of trouble and he's been bullied, he's been raped. This is why he sympathized with these children. These children saw him as another child and he was just one more part of that group. He did not see himself as an adult, if you will. He didn't see himself as a superior who was there to just have responsibility over them, but just one more of the group. And that was kind of, frankly, scary to see that a 22-year-old man considered himself at the level of a 10-year-old.
Marina, you said he now understands that what he did was wrong. Did he display any signs of remorse since he's now admitted to these acts?
He did, Sean. He says he's sorry. We asked him, you say you're troubled. You say you were raped when you were young. What about these children moving forward? Do you understand what this means for their lives and how they'll now live likely also a troubled life? And he would just put his head down and then start to cry and wouldn't say much more. So it was hard for him to elaborate on that subject. He did say a couple times he was sorry, but he never went more into detail as to how this all could affect those children moving forward. But it did seem like he realized that this was serious enough that in fact he's in jail now. The first thing he said to me was, I can't believe I'm behind bars. I would have never imagined I would have found myself in this situation. I've never been arrested before. He has no criminal history, and I know this question has come up a lot. Are there background checks at Prince George's County Public Schools for anyone that works there? Yes, there are, but nothing would have shown up because he has no criminal past.
Wow. I certainly appreciate the candor and giving us your insight from talking to him today. Marina, thank you very much.
We do point out, of course, that Denote Carraway is in jail, and the things that he's saying is what he has said to our reporter tonight about what happened to him in his background, his childhood. We don't know what the facts are at this point. That is simply what he has said.
Oh my God. Wow, I tell you. Whoa. Okay. It seems like to me that was just a lot process, just a lot for me to process, and all the stuff that they were saying. Okay, so as you guys had heard, the Denote Carraway, he is in jail, incarcerated, and of course what she was saying about his predicament, understand what kind of trouble he's in, and all of that. I agree with what they were saying about that. Even though he has not done anything, he doesn't have a criminal record. But for him being, such a person that is troubled. I'm sorry, that yelling is getting really annoying. Alright. I'm sorry. So, what I wanted to say is that, it's a really, really sad, tragic story what happened to those children, what they're going through and all that. And at the same time, if I were to blame somebody, I would blame the people in the school. I feel that the schools, especially elementary schools, that's the main thing. Little children is everything. You have to make sure that that they are in a good environment and they're working with people in a good environment. I remember what they were saying earlier, that that the victims of the children are actually suing the school, and the principal, he or she had left, in this term had left the school because of the incident that happened. And I don't really basically understand. I don't understand how in the world children can think of things of a sexual nature. I don't know how old those children were, but it was weird because they were saying that he was actually using according to him, he was using cell phones. He was using the app Kick. And that's a new thing that I found out about Kick. You can be anonymously and all that kind of stuff. And that's a horrible excuse for an app that needs to be destroyed. That he was actually using those pictures, transfer them onto his phone for his sexual pleasure, and he didn't really understand that he was what he was doing, that he thought that everything was okay because he thought he was a little kid himself. I don't understand that. Like I said, I blame the people, the principal, the people who who's working in the school in general, for not really breaking it down. The employees that are actually in the school, like actually see, just actually see how they work with the children, and at the same time try to come up with like different people that can actually look at them and watch them and see how well they work with children. Because for an incident that happened like this here, and I know that's not the first, that's the first one I heard, and from what I can think of, and no, that's the first I heard of that. You just gotta watch out for that kind of stuff, and also for the parents as well. I feel like when children are little, when they're little and vulnerable, you have to watch their every move. You can't just send them to school and thinking that they're in a good environment, a good predicament, and all that kind of stuff. I don't understand how in the world, like, how in the world this came out, how in the world this happened among, I guess they were saying 12 victims, 12 children, and they didn't catch on that something was not right. Yeah, so that's devastating. And for him being a counselor, for him not being, it's obvious, it's very obvious and it's very clear, according to what the interviewer was saying when she actually spoken to the young man, that he's mentally unstable. He's not in his right mind, of course. I know that for a fact, according to what she says, not in his right mind. I'm thinking, like, how in the world would they have someone that's not right in the head to be cool with children and not be, not figuring that out, not watching him or nothing like that? Because I don't think I feel like you need like a college degree. I'm not even gonna go there. I think you need to like go to college, get a degree, so you know that the person is like very, very educatable and very respectful and very trustworthy to be around, children. You can't just get anyone from the street, and I don't know how in the world they got him, to be a volunteer at the school, or anybody for that matter. That means they just hire any damn body. That school doesn't make any sense. And I kind of pinpoint the location where that school is. I think that school is somewhere in Capitol Heights. I remember going there, actually going there when my mom was trying to find me where to go to elementary school at the time. And that's one thing that really attracted me. So, around that area it's just whack. Like, I believe they just hire anybody, anything to come to school and mess around with the children and all that kind of stuff. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. My mom's hollering like something crazy, I swear. Okay. Alright. Okay, sorry guys for the interruption again. I don't live on my own, but my mom's up there hollering. Whatever the hell she's doing upstairs is getting on my damn nerves, and I'm trying to get my point out exactly. Alright, so back to what I was saying. I overall I blame the whole entire school system. Like, I feel that they should be a little bit more careful, a little bit more stricter when it comes down to the people that they hire in the schools, because we love our children. We all love our children, and we don't want them to grow up in the rack. And it's sad that those kids have to experience that, and that stuff will follow. Because sometimes when you go through some traumatic experience as a kid, that stuff, it tends to follow you, and you can be ruined by that. So that's very terrible and very, I feel really bad for those children. And as for him, I think he needs to be, locked up. He just, I don't understand it. I really don't. I understand. I know it's like I know it's an equal opportunity employer for people who are right in the mind, people who are not all the way right in the mind. But I feel that, if he was a special student, as they were saying before, they should have kept more closely eye on him. Not because he's just friendly, because he's friendly around the kids, or he makes makes their job more easier. Because then you know how some people are when it comes down to children. Like, they feel like they don't want to deal with the shit. So, I feel bad for those kids. I hope they be able to overcome and go on with their lives for that. And I pray that this is a wake-up call for all these public schools, whether it's elementary, middle, or high school. Or even college, for that matter. I hope it's a wake-up call for all of them, that they can be, a little bit more stricter and more firm. And yeah, that's about it. Okay, so I'm closing that story out. If you guys have any thoughts or opinions about that, you are more than welcome, to comment down in the links below. I love to read comments, and I like to see, your guys' opinion on what's your take on the story. Do you think the schools need to be, a lot more stronger, or whatever they need to be? Just let me know down in the comments below. Now, like on 21 minutes. Okay, so another story that I wanted to talk about is, let's see, there's a story that I found in regards to of a woman. There was a young mother, and she had a newborn baby. She left her newborn baby in a restaurant. And of course, the people found the baby, and she ended up being arrested for it. It says newborn baby found in West Covina subway bathroom toilet. Mother is in custody. I'm not sure where Covina is. It seems like it's somewhere like in the state or somewhere. But again, it's run by Fox 5 Channel 9 News. I can go ahead and read it because, I feel like such a bore, like playing all these videos and stuff. So I'll go ahead and just read a little bit on it. Okay, it says a newborn baby boy was discovered in the toilet at a fast food restaurant in West Covina, but he was reported to be alive on Monday. Paramedics rushed to the newborn to an area hospital, said West Canova police spokesman Ruby Lopez. He said a woman went into the bathroom of a Subway sandwich shop on 2540 S Azusa Avenue and gave birth Monday morning. The woman left the eatery and left a trail of blood behind her, drawing attention to the bathroom, Lopez said. Employees went inside and saw an umbilical cord hanging out from the toilet. Then they found the baby in the toilet. Oh, God. The baby was submerged in the toilet water and was crying, Lopez said, and the placenta in the trash. Police were informed of the discovery at 8:34 a.m., Lopez said. The boy was cared for the Subway employees and partners with the help of 911 dispatchers until paramedics arrived, he said. The mother, identified as Mary Grace Trinidad, 38, left behind a trail of blood, which officers used to track her down to a Pep Boys auto service store in the same shopping center, Lopez said. She was taken into custody and hospitalized like any new mother would be immediately after giving birth, but will be arrested after she is released, he said. The baby remains hospitalized in critical condition, Lopez says. Trinidad will be booked on suspicion of attempted murder and child abandonment. She was also wanted for an unrelated narcotics offense, Lopez said. Trinidad used to live in West Canova, but was transited at the time of her arrest. She was identified by shopping center employees as a homeless woman who'd been hanging around there for about a year, no doubt unaware about the safe haven law that allows mothers to drop off a newborn baby at a fire station or hospital, no questions asked. Just when you think you've seen it all, you realize you haven't, one police officer said. And that's the end of the entire paragraph. They show a picture of a woman the woman or the mother. Apparently, what happened, and I was just completely grossed out by what they said, that apparently she had gave birth to this baby, and she walked out of the subway, bleeding to death, might as well call hemorrhaging to death, walking out of the subway. And apparently it looked like she just pushed her baby out in the toilet. Like she just opened her legs and pushed the baby out in the toilet, and just left the baby there. I mean, oh god. I didn't know it was just that gross. It's just, that's terrible. And I'm glad that they ended up saving the baby on that part. I don't understand. For me, it seemed like that the woman obviously is not in her right state of mind. She's on drugs or something. Because nobody ain't going to sit there, and have a baby or be in labor for that matter and not call the hospital and not letting people know, okay, you having bad cramps down there, all that kind of stuff. And this is just wow. And I'm looking at her right now. It's look like she's just not in her right mind. And I know some way they're gonna lock her up, and she gonna put, they're gonna put her right where she belongs and put that baby in CPS. Because like I was saying in one of my last videos, about there was a story I was doing on a babysitter who was abusing the using a 6-month-old baby. Or it was another story, or that I can't think of it, is that there are many people that love children and they want to have children, but unfortunately they can't, or they're at a stage in their life where they're not settled yet, but they want to have children, whatever the situation may be. And I go like this. If you didn't want your child, just go to the hospital where you can get, you can give birth, you can have a safely childbirth, and you can put the baby up for adoption, or something like that. You can go right on your merry little way. I mean, killing children or doing anything to children ain't gonna help nothing. That shit will follow you to your grave. Sure enough. Okay, so I'm just gonna wrap it up. I know that was something very, very traumatic. I'm just like picturing it in my head right now. Especially with the trail of blood. I'm like, oh my god. Like right in the restaurant, really? That's terrible. I'm like, how can you walk when you get birth? I don't get that. Okay, so I'm going to wrap that story up. For those of you that have any questions or comments about that story, you are welcome to comment down in the links below. Again, I would love to hear, your thoughts about it. Okay, my last story is, my last one, or 3 minutes left, is a story. It's about a mom that was monitoring her 9-year-old daughter's phone call to a sex predator. And eventually, I believe he got arrested or something that happened, for that matter. Like a really short paragraph here, so I'm just going to go ahead and read it. Okay, the story was published on the 16th of February, and it reads, Grapevine police said a mother monitoring her 9-year-old daughter's your 9-year-old daughter's phone helped stop a sex predator suspect. Police said the 36-year-old man thought he was meeting a young girl for sex, but instead was met by police. Jonathan Ashley Butler has been charged with online solicitation of a minor and lived in the same apartment complex as the girl's father. The girl lives with her mother in another city, but often visits her father in Grapevine. So he was friends with the father, and the father kicked his fucking ass. Okay, alright. The police said that the mother noticed inappropriate texts from her daughter from Butler, and he was alarmed. And she was alarmed by what she read. Once she observed the inappropriate message, she continued the conversation as if to be her daughter. The first text became more and more inappropriate at the point, said Sergeant Robert Eberling, Grapevine Police. Police said what happened is an example of why parents should be protected and vigilant when it comes to their kids' online activities. Police also examined the and the girl's phone for anything butlers and the girl's phone for anything that could lead them to other victims. Okay, so that shows the ending of that. And you know what I want to say about that is that why in the hell parents keep on giving their little children cell phones, letting them get access to the internet unsupervised, all that dumb shit. I mean, that's the dumbest thing in the world. You know, I didn't get my cell phone until I was about like 14 years old, from what I remember. I was just that old. I mean, why would you let like a 9-year-old person, a 9-year-old child for that matter, you know, have a cell phone? That's ridiculous. I mean, really, you know, you're giving these perverted motherfuckers, you know, access to do whatever they're gonna do. It doesn't make no sense. Yeah, the parents need to be more protected on that part. Really, like it's just a fault to blame. I mean, all that kind of stuff. See, that's why children are so messed up these days. Some of them are so messed up. Excuse me, because all the stupid shit, it just doesn't even make no sense. And this man right here don't even make no damn sense. He damn near 36. Where he cannot get any pussy anywhere. He gotta mess with a young girl. You gotta mess with little children. I mean, I don't understand what the world is going on with you sex predators, you sick ass motherfuckers. I'm sick of keep on reading the shit about sex. And you know, you older, you know, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen, like, in my entire life. This is like fucking ridiculous. This is crazy. Yeah, so this said that, to be honest, that child just need to be, you know, like, need to be taken away or something, because you know these parents are just ridiculous. They're crazy. They just letting these predators, like, I admit that you don't know what the predators are, but how in the world did the man was able to get the 9-year-old girl's phone number to text her inappropriate messages? Nobody is, because parents keep on letting their kids having that damn internet, that those apps, those text messages, all that dumb stuff, letting kids having phones and whatever. You're exposing them to sex at an early age, and the minimum of a child supposed to know sex is about 12 or 13 when they hit puberty or something like that. That's how I feel. Like, if I had children one day, that would be like the time for me to explain to them. I won't tolerate any of the shit. See, I'd be like a strict mom or whatever. Okay, so that's all that I wanted to say about that. Like I said, you know, in this world there are some very sick motherfuckers, and I hope that, you know, some of you that are viewing, you know, this video, that you just be very wise, you know, about your children and where they are, and be more protected, because, you know, even though they're saying, okay, mom, dad, I hate your guts or whatever, you know, let them do what they're gonna do, because when they get older and they get big like me, they're gonna be thankful that, you know, you did it, and, you know, they have a roof over their head. They won't be fucked up in the head. They won't go through any of that. So, you know, I advise, you know, parents, like, those who are becoming parents, just put this to the armor. You just fight it for the sake of your child, and just you know, live a happy life. And that's all that I want to talk about for today. Like I said, one of the 3 stories. If any of you guys want to make a comment about any of the stories that I talked about today, you're welcome to comment down on the links below. I thank you guys so much for watching, you know, my rant and me saying this and that. It was not easy. I believe I said, you know, much clearer this time. And thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.